Going on, are Zarathustra's teachings different from other religions? And if they are, how so?
Uh, this is actually a large topic, and to elaborate it in all dimensions could take some time. Although I will give a try to make it as short and concise as possible right now, just as guidance. When we talk about the word religions, we usually divide them into two main categories. One we may call Oriental religions, and the other one Abrahamic ones. Depending on how we interpret Mazdayasna, one could relate it either to one or the other. In my opinion, Mazdayasna should be placed in the first category, the Oriental ones, like Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, or even yoga. So, if you have any idea about the difference between the Oriental religions like Buddhism, say, and at the other side, Abrahamic religions, then you get a general picture about differences. And as I told you, to talk about these in more details, we need maybe another time and another interview. Then I will elaborate.
In the Ashamvo prayer, there is an emphasis on following the path of Asha. What is Asha, and what does it mean to follow the path of Asha?
Okay, let us look at this very important mantra with more attention. It is the main and core mantra of all times, I would say. It says all in the shortest form possible. It is actually very genius. Let me, before I go further, to remind and emphasize on the fact that everything we see and read in our scriptures have two different facets. One which relates to the higher dimension, as I told you before, and the other to the lower dimension. Hashem Vahu is in two parts. The first part says Hashem Vahu Vahishtem Asti Ushta Asti. It declares that to be in accordance with Asha is the best or highest good. And what is Asha? Asha or Artha means righteousness. Artha comes from the root of Rita, and Rita in Sanskrit is right, is righteousness. What is right? It is the truth of life, the essence of life. So this verse means to be in accordance with the life and the truth of it, which is the best. Why? Simply because it brings happiness. It brings Ushta. Ushta means bliss. And the second part goes like this. Ushta ahmai hiyat ashai vahishtai Hashem. It means that bliss is for who lives righteously according to the truth.
To continue, what is the significance of the Yata Ahu mantra?
This mantra can also be interpreted in different dimensions. In the higher one, it declares that the order which governs the existence and cosmos also governs the essence of the life on earth. The other interpretation is that the leader or leaders or guides of both the physical realm and the spiritual realm shall be chosen in accordance with their harmony with Ash'arta, their righteousness. Yatahu is actually the social and even the political manifest of Mazda Yasna.
What are the Amisha Spentas and how do they relate to our everyday lives?
As we know, Amesha means literally no depth or no end, which can be understood as boundless or limitless. Spenta means expansive, growing. So together, Amesha Spentas can be understood as limitless expansion or boundless growth. We call it, all the Amesha Spentas, the principles of life. Once again, one can look for their meanings in different layers and realms, and of course they are all just different manifestations of the same unity. Those main principles we consider here are Asha Vahishta, Vohu Mana, Kshatra Vairya, Spenta Armaiti, Haurvatata, and Amiratata. They illustrate the cycle of life as the nature works in all the creations, including us. In every layer, they have the specific or relative definition. The Vohumana, which is also a very key word, it literally means the good mind. Very, very briefly said, a good mind is a mind which leads to a good life and to experience the spiritual awareness. Vohumana is a prerequisite for approaching Asha. So you need Vohumana to understand Asha or Artha. And Asha, as I told you before, is the truth, the order in cosmos, the natural laws, and even reflected into social order of a good society, means a righteous social order. Kshatra. Kshatra means constructive, literally. Related to mind and mentality means mental activity under control, which leads to serenity, to calmness, and to awareness. And related to society, it means the social order, which is a benevolent social order, and a good reigning power. This is Kshatra. And Vairya means to be chosen. We choose to be aware, and we choose the social power to lead people with constructive and benevolent mindset. Spenta Armati means expansive serenity. When we have our mind under our control, Kshatra, we become calm, and this calmness will expand. Spenta. The same goes to a society which runs with the wisdom and with good mindset. This society also become calm, a calmness which expands also in society. Harwa thought and Amrit thought, they almost always come together. They mean the everlasting wellness or the boundless wholeness. They are the outcome of those preceding conditions. They show us the purpose of life. Of course, we could elaborate these concepts much more and in different ways, but I hope that what I said could give you somewhat clear picture of the inherent meanings of these concepts.
Then what is Spenta menu and how is that related to the Amsha Spentas?
Yeah, Spentamania is actually the underlying idea of all the Amsha Spentas. It is the menu. You can translate it as the essence. It's the essence of expansion, which goes as an underlying an idea of those other Amsha Spentas. Actually, there is no counting in the gathas. You cannot see in the gathas 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, there are those who even count other menus, you call that, like Srosha and other into the Amsha Spentas. But what I told you are the main conceptions. So concepts. Then yeah, Spenta menu. It is the essence of the expansion. It is the idea of expansion.
And lastly, what has Zarathustra said about good versus bad?
Okay, this is a very tricky one. Okay, but it is actually simple if we pay attention to the life. See, there are two basic forces within you. Most people see them as being in conflict. One is the instinct of self preservation. Maybe the one we call it anger mania, which compels you to build walls around you to protect yourself. And the other is the constant desire to expand, as we call it, spontaneity, to become boundless, to become ameritat. These two longings, to preserve and to expand, are not opposing forces, though they may seem to be. They are related to two different aspects of your life. One force helps you to root yourself well on this planet, and the other takes you beyond. Self-preservation needs to be limited to the physical body. If you have the necessary awareness to separate the two, there is no conflict. But if you are identified with the physical, then instead of working in collaboration, these two forces, they will become a source of tension. Bad is a situation, a condition which arises when the protecting force, instead of inspiring you, which I call it angize in Farsi, angize menu, I call it angize menu when it is the source of inspiration to take necessary measures. If it goes out of its boundaries, out of its limits. It's go nuts, and it give you wrong signals. It makes you take the wrong and destructive decisions. So it goes from Angiza menu to anger menu. And good, what is good? Good is the condition of the named balance between these two forces. So it is not actually good and bad. So it is two forces. So you have to balance between them. I always say that the difficulty, the force that can come between these two forces is Wahumana. If Wahumana comes between Angara menu and Spenta menu, so Wahu menu can bind them together and balance them together. So let me conclude with these words. The whole idea is to create ushta, to create pleasantness, both inside and outside. When you are in a pleasant inner state, you are naturally pleasant to everyone and everything around you. No scriptures, no philosophy is needed to instruct you to be good to others. It is the natural outcome when you are feeling good with yourself. The only thing that stands between you and your well-being is a simple fact that you have allowed thoughts and emotions to take instruction from the outside rather than the inside. It shall be under your control. We have always tried to create good human beings. I could say that it's a mistake. We shall create more joyful, more happy, and more alive or conscious human being. When you are joyful, you cannot do anything bad. The premise is very simple. If you have a good seed and you create the right atmosphere, right environment, it will sprout. Creating the right atmosphere of body and mind is the only work. You do not have to do anything else. No teaching or morality for that matter, even no metaphysical discourses are needed. If your humanity is motivated, you are a beautiful human being. Life, ahura, is knowledge. Perception, da'ena, is awareness. Love, or mehr, is within and shared. Inner peace, armati, is treasured. Infinite intelligence, Mazda, is eternal. And boundless unity is the goal, Harvatata Amiratata, which you call it Garu Dhamana. Be joyful and be united in goodness. Hamazur bim, Hamazure, Hamashubim. Mazda bless you all.